blessings to all of you, Psychic Cats here. Welcome to my channel. Tonight I decided to share with you guys a video that is so much requested from so many of my clients. Now this video is about to share with you guys how to find out if you have any negative presence in your home. Now what I mean with negative presence, I mean, for example, a negative entity, a negative spirit, or any kind of negative vibration in your home. And this method can be used in order to spot that negative presence, in which room, in which corner, and in the same time purify and cleanse your home. So this is about the protection, it's about to excuse me, it's about to find out where in your home this negative presence might be, and at the same time purify. So the first method I'm going to share with you guys is with lemons. Now I have a lime here as well, and this is simply because you can use lime as well, but I prefer to use lemons for this purpose, because limes can mostly be used for your own personal use. For example, if you want to purify and cleanse your soul and body, you can use limes, but it's up to you. If you feel like it's better for using limes, you can absolutely do that. But if you're using limes, make sure that you cut a little bit in the middle, not the whole way down, just a little bit in the middle in order to get this energy, and then place the lime in the middle of the sea salt. Now I have already prepared this so I can share it with you. Before we start to do this, you need to always put your intention into the lime or lemon, whatever you choose to work with. Make sure that you have the intention, you pray over it, that you visualize the result of what you're asking for. And you can light a white candle, you can light an incense for the protection purpose of purification, or you can also light Palo Santo wood, which I'm going to burn right now, just to show you guys that it is totally fine to use both Palo Santo or a kind of incense. Now I'm not going to let it burn so much, it's just enough for the purpose of this video. So what you need to do is to take a lemon, pray over it, put your intention into it, and then you pour the sea salt around it as a circle, as you can see I have in the plate, and then you put your intention over the whole thing. Then you place this in one of your corners. You can do this for different rooms, for different corners in the same time. So if you, for example, want to find out if you have a negative presence in your kitchen, living room, hallway, or bedroom, you can charge different lemons, different plates, and place them in different corners in each room. And that is the best thing actually you can do, because in the same time you will place them all and you will easier find out which corner, which room you have this negative presence, if you have any, of course. Now, if you have any negative presence, that is why I'm sharing this video, because people are asking, how do I know that? If you have no presence at all, let's say you just have good vibration in your home, and your home is pure and clean, then your lemon should just be dry and a little bit darker in the color. So it's going to be dry and a little bit darker than this fresh lemon is. But if you have any kind of negative presence, let's say you have a kind of entity to deal with and you want to know which room this entity is in, then your lemon starts changing color actually really fast. So you will notice only within 48 hours, mostly within 24 hours. But you will notice only within 2 or 3 days that your lemon starts changing color. Now for that purpose, I also have been saving a lemon here so I can share with you guys. This is a lemon that I have been saving in one of my corners, and I did save this lemon in one of my corners in one specific day because I had a specific guest here in my home, and I knew that this person didn't have so much of good energy around, so I wanted to just notice how fast this lemon will change the color. And it started to change actually within only 24 hours. And as you can see here, it's getting moldy and green, and the whole lemon started to change in color in a strange way. That indicates you have a kind of negative presence based on a person you have been inviting to your home, or based on a spiritual beings. You know which way to go. Now, what you do afterwards, when you see that your lemon have been in the same corner for 7 days and without changing colors, without getting moldy or green or gray, that lemon can just be thrown out in garbage, and you can replace it with a new one in another corner. But if you see that your lemon start to change in color really fast, which I show you in the other one, then you need to change and replace it as soon as possible. So you can replace it, for example, after 3 days. And when you do replace your lemons, do not touch them, because the purpose with these lemons are to draw in that negative energy, to protect in the same time, and showing you that yes, this is a spot that you have a negativity. And if you continue to repeat the process, that energy will no longer be able to stay there. So if you place, for example, different lemons in different corners, then it's going to be difficult for that negative entity to be around, because they will always standing in the corners. That is why we always place for protection and purification mostly in the corners, because that is the spot the negative entities like to be in. The first method is with a lemon, and you can let it be for 7 days as long as you don't see any kind of color changing. But after 7 days, no matter what, throw it away. Make sure that you don't keep it in your home, and replace it with another lemon. Now, the next step I'm going to show you is a little bit different, but it's working the same way. For this purpose, you need 1 glass, you need spring water, or if you have mineral water or any kind of water that you have, and you need vinegar, white vinegar, not red, not any other color, just white vinegar, and you will need sea salt. So I'm going to show you how to do this and how powerful and clear you can see that this is working. First, you need to purify your glass. So let's say that you want to purify, you hold your glass over the incense that you're burning, or the sage or the Palo Santo. And then you don't have to use glass like this, not so big. I actually did this because it's easier to show you guys in the video. Then you pour sea salt, not so much. The sea salt should be 1 part, and the vinegar 1/2 part, and the water 2 parts. So it's just the bottom of the glass is enough for the sea salt. Again, you put intention to it, you prepare it, give it a purpose. Then you pour the white vinegar. Make sure you don't pour too much. And I'm going to tell you why we're using this method. So you pour just a little bit, so it's going to cover the sea salt. Now, the purpose with this is the sea salt itself is for purification and protection. The vinegar also for purification and protection. The water is just the water, and also represent the element of water. Why we're mixing these two actually is simply because the vinegar is keeping the sea salt still, at the same time that they are working for the protection purpose. The vinegar makes sure that the sea salt doesn't move. Now I'm going to pour the water in. Now this is a spring water that I have been charging in 3 different full moons, and I'm using this water for purposes like this. Not so much more. As you can see right now, it's cloudy. It's like white. Only within 2 or 3 minutes, you will notice that this water getting so clear. So you can actually see through the entire glass. Now, the vinegar keeping the sea salt still. And when you have, let's say you have a negative energy, you have a kind of negative presence in your home, and you place this in one of your corners. If that energy is there, you will notice that the sea salt starts to moving around. So it's going to moving around, and it's going to be cloudy like this. And the water can actually be increasing, coming higher. So when you see that the water is not as you have left it, the pure, that means you do have negative presence as well. Now you can see it's happening actually really fast. So this is going to be totally clear before I place it in the corners. And you can do this as a lemons. You can make 4 or 5 glasses and place in different kind of corners in each room. So you can find out in which room you have been seeing changing. Now, as you can see now, it's getting clear, but you also see that the sea salt is not moving. It's still. Normally, if you pour water over sea salt, it's getting to move around. But the vinegar makes sure that the sea salt is standing still. The only time the sea salt starts moving around and the vinegar starts to react is when you have a negative presence. Because both of them are for the purpose of purification, and the vinegar can actually suck in that negative energy. So it's going to react to the sea salt, and sea salt starting to move around. And you will notice that the glass that you have been placing there is not so clear as it was from the beginning. Now you see it's almost clear. And it's like white and cloudy. So that means you need to pour that out. And when you want to pour this out, you can pour it in your toilet or outside of your home. And then you replace it with a new one. So you're going to continue and repeat the process if you have seen any negative presence in your home, like you seeing changing in your water or your lemons. You just repeat the process. Now, this is clear now. I'm going to hold it like this so you can see it. It's almost clear. And then you put your intention over it again, say a prayer, then you place it in one of your corners. I always recommend to start to begin with one of the rooms that makes you feel uncomfortable. If you believe that you have any negative presence in your home, you will already notice that the specific room that you feel uncomfortable in, that room is a room you should start with. So we always have a specific spot in our places that we feel like there is energy. And you can start with that room. You can also place in different other rooms in the same time. But this one should not be staying for 1 week as a lemons. This actually should only stay for max 48 hours. So only within 48 hours you will see if this water is getting cloudy or not, or it's getting higher and increasing or not. No matter what, you need to replace it. And when you pour it out, pour it in your toilet or outside your home. But make sure you not pour it in front of your home, outside your window. That is not a good sign. So, and do not pour it beside a tree or something like that either, because this is not a good thing you have in your hand when it's done. It's including all the energy that have been in your home. This is the other method. The next method I'm going to share with you is the mix that I have made. And this mix including sea salt, black pepper, and red chili pepper. Now normally it's enough with sea salt and black pepper to removing evil. But for the purpose of getting more power into it, you can add some chili pepper, red chili pepper as well. So chili flakes. You can mix all the three This is actually already ready and charged, so I don't need to pray over it now. But this looks like pink, so it's almost pink, as you can see, white pink color. Okay, what you notice with this one, now this method I do recommend to using mostly in your bedroom. And why I mentioned the bedroom is because if you have been noticed that you have difficulty to sleep, or you feel like there is a presence in your bedroom when you're sleeping, or you feel like there is something in your bed, or your bed is moving when you're sleeping, this is a great method to use. You pour it in your hand, in your right hand, and say prayer over it, focus, and then you throw this under your bed, under the entire bed, and then you pour it in each corner in the bedroom as well. Let it stay or let it be there for about 1 week. And then after 1 week, when you come and check, you will notice that this color that is almost pink and white right now is no longer pink or white. It's actually getting more brown, even black. So when you notice that the color have been changing and it's almost black and brown, that means it have been working and have been collecting that negative presence, negative energy, and protecting your place. So you can throw that away and pour new ones. But I can guarantee you that this works. If you really have difficulty to sleep because you are 100% sure that there is something in your bedroom when you want to sleep at night, if you do this process, you will definitely notice there's changes. Now, I have done this for my clients, for myself, and for many others, because it's something amazing. It's working. You don't need to use this around your entire home, but if you have, let's say you have a really powerful negative presence in your home and you want to just get rid of that, of course you can pour this mix in each corners around your home, and once in a week you clean that up, throw it away, and pour new ones. So all these three methods are really powerful when it comes to spot that negative energy, to be sure that you have any presence in your home. Mostly when you have presence in your home, you know it. It's nothing you don't need to do all these things to find out that you have a negative presence. Because negative presence, I mean like low vibration entities, they always make sure that you notice them. They always try to take your attention. So when you know that there are some kind of energies and you want to make sure that it is good or bad, then you can try this method. Because I always have spirits in my home. There are many spirits in my home, and they never react to these methods because my spirits are good spirits and they are always welcome here. But let's say you have an uninvited guest, then you can notice that things start happening with your things. And also when you have, for example, a guest in your home, let's say your friend coming and visiting you, you can do as I did, place a lemon just to test and see how that friend is surrounded by negative energy or not. Your lemons will start changing colors. And there is another method also for protection, but this method is not for, for finding out if there is any negative presence or not. This is only for the protection purpose. And this is simply using of cascarilla. So you pour in cascarilla in your corners, and you pour it as a line in your windows, in your doorway, and everywhere in your home, just to make sure that you have protection around. But not just you just going and take your cascarilla and pour it everywhere. No, always give it a purpose. Whatever you do in the spiritual world, whatever you do in the spiritual practice, you need to give it a purpose. So put your intention to it. Make sure that you give it a purpose with your mind, and then you use them for that intention. So I hope this advice can be useful for you guys, and I will try to do my best to share more videos. I have been receiving different requests for different purposes, but this one was so much requested. People asking all the time, how do I know if I have any negative presence? How do I know if there is any good or bad presence? Well, if you have any bad presence in your home, you will notice that. Because there are three things that I have always informed my clients. There are three different symptoms that you will notice if you have really bad negative vibration in your home. The first one is that your love life will not be successful. So whatever you do in your life, you cannot have any good relationship. You will not be successful in your love or, romance. So you will lose that partner, or you will have difficulty to find a new partner. The second one is your financial life. So that means you can lose your job, it's difficult to find new work, it's difficult to start new things, and you have always, not so much money, and you're asking always for help. So love life and the financial life getting always affected when you have negative entities in your home. And the third one is your health. So when you feel like you have difficulty to sleep in your home, when you're waking up so many times, now waking up in the middle of the night, especially around 3 o'clock, it doesn't mean that you have a negative presence. It can also mean that you have a kind of ability that means you can sense the energies around you and you're waking up. But if you're waking up and you feel like uncomfortable and you're feeling watched all the time, you have nightmares many times, you feel like you need to be safe somehow, you have this bad vibration around you, that is also a sign that will affect your health, because it mostly starts with depressions and hard to breathe, headaches. You also have difficulty to sleep. You also have kind of bad thoughts within you, and then going to affect your physical body as well, so you can actually be ill physically. So those three symptoms are mostly happening for people who have been surrounded by negative entities. Now, this is just my advice to help you guys, for those who have been requesting to clarify and find out where in your home you might have any negative presence. But you always need to do a spiritual cleansing as well. And by spiritual cleansing, I mean using herbs, including sage. I did actually make a video for that purpose, and that video is here in my channel as well. So you can watch that video and do, as I have been showing there, using those herbs so you can get rid of all the energies. We need to always remind ourselves that spirits and low vibration entities doesn't need to be there in order for you to cleanse. They can actually follow you as well, especially for people who are in the paranormal world, people who are visiting haunted locations, people who are communicating with spirits often. So this is something that I have been seeing so many times, that people are playing with these kind of things. They believe that this is a joke. They buy a Ouija board and they call in spirits, and then when things going wrong, they don't know what to do. They just stuck. Before you opening any kind of doors to the spiritual world, always find out how to protect yourself, always understand how to banish that energy, and make sure that you do not just open any doors and invite whatever you can invite. Understand what you do before you do it. So I hope my advice can be useful for those of you who have been asking. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to visit my website at psychicreading.se. You can also visit my Facebook page at Psychic Cats. There I do send live sessions once in a while in order to respond to all questions from my followers. I'm blessed by having so many beautiful people around me, and I do my best to help all and be available for you all. My best wishes to you all. May good health be with you all.